Hello, and welcome to another weekly workout update number 5. Took a little while to get to this one. I was a little busy on Sunday, was tired and kind of spaced it. So today we will have two Monday workouts to report, um, and pretty promising results. Starting with last Monday's workout, uh, as I said before, I was planning to max out my deadlift, and I am excited to say that I did set a new PR at 335, which is a 20-pound improvement on my deadlift 1 rep max since I started lifting heavy again from my injury. Um, Also in that workout, I was training chest pretty heavy, trying to force some adaptation. I had a spotter, and I did have 215 on the bar. I was going down. I was able to eke out 2 reps, although my spotter was helping me a lot. But it did show improvement. I felt really good, and it helped me build some confidence going into this Monday that I'm now recovering from, um, and felt really good about it. I was very excited for today's workout. Um, Wednesday went by well. Was battling a little bit of a headache last Wednesday, so I was just trying to get through my volume on some of my bulkier muscle groups, the back, chest, the legs, just trying to, hit my weekly number of sets without straining myself too much. Um, Recovered from that, um, and went into my Saturday workout, which was very, very upper body focused. I was kind of worried about how I'd recover from that um, going into this Monday, where I maxed out on my bench, but I recovered very well. I find that my upper body recovers very, very fast. I do get some soreness here in my upper chest, but it seems my shoulders and my back and most of my chest recovers very, very quickly from my workouts. So that's just something that I probably going to look at going forward as I structure uh, different programs for different phases as I go into my cut. Um, the reason I say it recovered pretty fast was because I did some hamstring work, and my legs, especially my hamstrings, I find um, take a long time to recover. I always feel that they're sore. I mean, the performance is always there. It's not like I can't train hamstrings at all when they're sore, and that the performance just drops off. But they just always seem to stay sore for a good 3 or 4 days after a workout, where my shoulders, my back are pretty good like the next day. 2 days definitely they feel great. So that's something I'm beginning to notice. But going in to today's workout, I uh, I had been doing, like I said, a lot of chest work and shoulder work, trying to prepare myself um, and get as much adaptation for my flat bench press. Um, Nothing to report on my incline dumbbell bench. However, um, I did get 55s on my warm up for 17 reps instead of 15. Then I went up to 60s and had 3 sets of 12. But that was also after a very grueling upper body intensity circuit training. It was very rough. A lot of shoulders, a lot of back, a little bit of chest, but the chest was kind of lacking in those exercises. There were a lot of dips, but I just wanted to get some good chest activation near the end there. And then I also hit my legs just because that was something that I was missing in that workout as well. But to report today, I did once again have to rush to get to the gym early. I wanted to grab a bench because on Mondays it's very hard to find a bench press for whatever reason. It could just be most people love training chest on Mondays. It's written in stone somewhere in some Gold's gym. Um, but I warmed up with cardio. I went over and did some deadlifts because I do want to improve my raw grip strength for my deadlifts. I do pretty well with the VersaGrips, but my just raw grip strength needs a little bit of work. So I decided to do some deadlifts, did 4 or 5 sets. Um, still, still repping out 225 for 10. Um, I did 275 for a couple reps on my conventional, which feels better, but I wanted to save as much energy as I could for the bench press. After I wiped down my bar, I was able to sneak out a bench, scurried right over, um, and started loading my plates and getting to work. I warmed up at 135. I did 10, but I feel that I could probably now get to about 15 or maybe 17 reps. It depends. I haven't really tried to push my reps on my flat bench at 135 for a while. Once I got to 12 reps, I kind of just started focusing on strength and going from there. That might be something I focus on a little bit going forward into my cutting phase. But I warmed up a couple sets at 135, and there was a group of gentlemen that were kind of like looking over. They came up and they watched me kind of take the bench, and then they sat around for a little bit and kind of walked over and asked me like, "Hey, how many more sets you got?" And I was like, I just warmed up. I literally just warmed up. I've got about 4 or 5 good sets here. I'm trying to max out on my bench, and they look pretty disappointed, but it's max out Monday. I gotta get a PR here today. So I tried to block that out as much as possible. I loaded up the bar, did my warm ups, um, went up to 155, rocked that out for 5 real quick. I'm just trying to get the form down, get comfortable. Um, then I put it up to 185, and I did that for 4. And I was pretty surprising because um, it felt pretty easy. I felt like I could have probably put out another 1 or 2 with relative ease, but I wanted to save as much energy as possible for the heavy lifts. Just trying once again. That was all to focus on my form. Um, I had bumped it up to 10. I put 205 on the bar, and I looked at it for a minute, and I thought, don't have a lot of time here. Need to finish these sets. These guys keep looking at me. What's 5 more pounds? I know I was comfortable. Uh, I felt confident that I would have it, so I put it to 210. Just put those 2.5 pound plates, those little baby plates. Put those on, and I felt good. So I'm like, okay, here we go. I unracked it myself and went down. It was slow going up. Then I exhaled, boom, popped right up. So that was PR number 1. for the day. So I racked it back up and I thought, okay, definitely don't have 225. It was pretty rough. So that was 210. So for me to add another 15 pounds onto that, don't think I'm quite there yet. Might take me another couple weeks. But I felt that I would be comfortable. Okay, let's do 215. How does 215 sound? So I had one more set. I had time for one more set. Uh, took the took the two baby plates off, slapped on a couple fives, and I kind of rested. I was sitting there resting, preparing uh, for trying to get in the right mindset. And this is the most weight that I've ever had on a bar at this point, and it's all kind of setting to me. I was doing 210, and my hands were shaking just because of how much I had to just focus, and how much force that I was really like generating there. So I thought, hey, let me ask one of these guys if they'll spot me on my bench. So the guy in the red hoodie, he came, the one that came up and asked me how much I had, and he was still sitting there waiting. So I leaned over and I was like, hey, did you spot me real quick? This is my last set. He was like, yeah, dude, yeah, I got you, bro. So he came over and he even asked me. He's like, hey, do you wanna lift off? And I was like, every little bit'll help. So yeah, I was like, absolutely, I'll let you know. So I sat there and got my couple breaths. I calmed down, counted down. He picked it up. We got it up, and I just took a deep breath, went down, and it paused there. And he was ready. He was ready there. I mean, he was a good spotter because he didn't just immediately grab the bar and try to lift it up. He just had his hands there, waiting for me to kind of go down with it. But I held it. I held it. Once again, I just exhaled, popped right up, racked it up, and that was 215 on my bench press, and that is an improvement of 10 pounds, like all time. The last time I did 205, before I did 205 about 3 weeks ago, I did it one other time, and that it's probably been about a year ago now. And I was at the end of a bulk. I was bridging like crazy. I was throwing my hips into it. I mean, I threw everything that I had into that bench press, just because I was obsessed with getting over 200 pounds. Um, but this one was different because the form was great. My back was, very flat. There was a small arch, but it's not like I was like turning myself into a pretzel and trying to convulse the weight bouncing off my chest. I went down, I paused, and I brought it up. It was slow, it hurt, my hands were shaking, um, but that was a PR. Totally worth it. I hope I feel as good about this tomorrow as I do right now. Another report from the XD. I can't not say that I don't think it's working, because I think it's doing something. Now, it may be placebo. It may just be in my head. I may just be making it up and just pushing myself harder like I should. Maybe it's taken that mental aspect out, where I've been doubting myself, or I've tried to reserve my strength because I don't want to hurt myself. Maybe I'm just putting more into my workouts. It's totally possible. But like I said, I'm a person who's spent a lot of time overtraining, hurting himself on certain lifts, and some of my friends and family say that I tend to go too hard on things, which I don't believe. I don't believe I do that. I think I go the proper amount that I should, but sometimes accidents happen and body parts get hurt. But I've been very lucky as far to not have pushed anything, pulled anything, tore, ripped, or injure any part of my body, setting all of these PRs and recovering very, very well. I think part of it at least has to be coming from ecdy, um, but I have about only one more week's supply. I'm thinking about bumping it down on some days to taking 2 caps a day towards the end, like the just to space it out a little longer until I get to like the end of the week. Because as of right now, I only have enough to get me to, I believe, the 10th of February. Um, so we'll see. We'll see how far I get, and if I can, I'm still dead set on getting that 225. I'm not going to stop lifting heavy on my bench press until I do. My other lifts, like my deadlift and my squat, I'll probably focus on bringing up like my 5 rep maxes up to 7, 8, 9, 10 reps. That like that just that weight. Going heavy, the weight that I use to go to 5 rep maxes, just try to get more reps out of those, um, and keeping my form great, making sure I'm not getting any asymmetrical pelvic tilt, or straining my back on my deadlifts, just really, really focusing on my form for the long term going into my cut. I do have a few ideas of what I'm going to do after I finish my ecdy, that may have a lot to do with my sleep and getting proper recovery through my cut, maximizing my results and helping my recovery, because I am going to be doing a lot of cardio and a lot of high rep training. So keep looking out for that. As changes happen, I'll let you know. I experimented a little bit with trying to film some of my heavy lifts for these PRs. Hopefully, I'll be posting a 225 bench press very soon, and hopefully it's not a terrible angle. My phone's not the best, but it should do. It, I'm excited for the workouts to come. I'm very confident, very optimistic. 10 pounds added to a 205 bench press in a few weeks, on a lift that I'd been stuck at forever. I mean, especially with my shoulder, and even at my best on my last bulk, I it took everything that I had in terrible form, and it's no wonder that I injured myself trying to do those lifts. But to have one really deep, perfect form bench press at 215, only 10 pounds to go, I'm very excited. But that uh, does it for this weekly workout update. Next week, I might be taking a little break from the gym on Monday. So, and the week after that will be Valentine's Day, that next Monday. So, we will see what the heavy days hold going forward. Um, I might have to start doing heavy days on Saturday, but we'll see. The next max out will be squat. Now I would like to get up to 330 on my squat. My squat has been very good. I did 325 last time with really great form. Um, so we're gonna see if I can get any kind of improvement on that. I'm looking forward to it, but we'll see if it happens on a Saturday or when it can happen. We'll just have to wait and see. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.